we just took a bottle of LSD just before this movie, bro, because it just kept on going through dimensions after dimensions after dimensions, multiverse. I was like, what? Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Geekin Out. I'm your Dave Meister, here for another Geekin Out review. Last night, I went to the Imax 15-minute preview of the new Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch, and it was freaking amazing. Yes, it was amazing. Like, dude, talk about it. Let me hold it.
That was awesome. I'm hearing because it's IMAX, so yeah, I need to get up on doing IMAX movies.
This movie, I felt like we just took a bottle of LSD just before this movie, bro, because it just kept on going through dimensions after dimensions after dimensions. I was like, what is going on here?
Like one of the guys when we were walking out, he was saying like I feel bad for all the people that hit LSD before seeing this movie because they're going to be tripping hard.
I went with my buddy Carnell Holly from Halo Union Productions, and we went over there, but we thought we weren't going to make it. I thought that I was going to miss out on the 15-minute preview. I was freaking racing down 285. It was like a Fast and Furious moment, man. My heart was pumping like crazy. So after we got done with Doctor Strange, we got these cool posters from the 15-minute preview, the October preview, and it was just freaking amazing. It was an IMAX 3D experience. For the 15 minutes I was there, man, it was worth it. It was freaking worth it. Anyway, guys, I started a new playlist for the channel called the Geekdown. It's pretty much a breakdown playlist where I go through trailers, previews, discuss and share my thoughts with you about how I feel about the trailer, about the casting, etc. And also get down to facts and references from comic books and animated films I've seen over the years. It's a playlist I really want to get into for a while now, and I feel it's time to get it started. So let's get right into the Geekdown. First off, there are spoilers, so you've been warned. We start off with Dr. Stephen Strange being this badass neurosurgeon with the hands of over 9,000.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
Unfortunately, this makes him a narcissistic playboy, which reminds me of another self-obsessed facial bro.
Take that away, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
What I witnessed from the preview, Doctor Strange is quite similar to Tony Stark. It would make sense because I feel that the film will bring about a new age of the Avengers that will greatly impact the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Doctor Strange might become the next Tony Stark, but there is a subtle difference between the two. Doctor Strange seems to have a filter whenever he realizes that his quips and sarcasms don't seem to work out and behaves accordingly to the situation. Pretty much, Doctor Strange feels out the room and adapts to it. As for Tony, however, well, you get the point. From the start of the preview, we get to see some Rachel McAdams in action. She is the anchor for Doctor Strange, trying to set him on the path to saving lives, rather than endlessly searching for the next chance to test his God-given talents. Again, just like the first Iron Man, what Pepper Potts did for Tony. Well, what she used to do. But I can see the potential in Rachel's character being more than just a love interest. She might even become an apprentice of Doctor Strange if Marvel allows it. As we move along the preview, we catch up with Strange, and he's driving to a rich doctor conference. And while on the phone, it's hinted by his agent where the film takes place in the MCU timeline. Billy pitches a few assignments, and one in particular about a 35-year-old Marine colonel who crushed his lower spine in some kind of experimental armor. Instantly, everyone could assume that the film takes place after Captain America Civil War, with the events that led to Colonel James Rhodey becoming paralyzed after Vision pulls some Call of Duty friendly fire crap. But then I started thinking, Rhodes is an Air Force colonel, not a Marine. Who else had experimental armor to play with? Justin Hammer, the once industrialist rival of Tony Stark from Iron Man 2, played by Sam Rockwell. Fun fact, Sam was actually the actor Marvel Studios was shooting for to play the role of Tony Stark. But thanks to director Jon Favreau, we have our ever-talented Robert Downey Jr. as our lovable
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
But back to Justin Hammer, In Iron Man 2, Justin Hammer was attempting to create his own version of the Iron Man suit, but failed epically. So it makes sense that the beginning of the film takes place around Iron Man 2 and slowly makes his way past the Avengers. Because if you remember, Dr. Stephen Strange had a very brief cameo in Captain America Winter Soldier through Sitwell's confessions.
Bruce Banner, Stephen Strange, anyone who's a threat to Hydra.
Which brings us to Doctor Strange exhausting every penny to his name after a very expensive car crash that cost him the tens he squandered away all his life, and goes on backpacking across the world in search of a cure to get his hands back. In his travels, he meets up with the bad guy from Serenity who plays Baron Mordo. Come on, a character with a name one letter off from Mordor can't possibly be good. So Baron pulls a Ra's al Ghul and takes the has-been doctor to meet with his master, the Ancient One. And with no warning, opens a wormhole to a TARDIS-driven thrill ride with visuals unlike anything we've seen in the MCU. I was geeking out as I was watching the awesomeness before me, and the IMAX 3D experience really made you feel you were going through it. As part of his training, Doctor Strange is forced on this short spiraling journey, while the Ancient One tells him that he's capable of great things and becoming greater than he once was, and using his talents to save more lives than ever. For a moment, he goes through a sequence that reminds me a lot of what Matthew McConaughey went through in Interstellar, when he flew his ship into a frickin' black hole. And while Doctor Strange goes on this overdose acid trip, flying through one dimension after another, sort of a similar sequence we've seen in Ant-Man but on crack, the Ancient One then reveals to him that they are a part of something greater, that this universe is one of many, which she later calls the multiverse. I don't know how long Disney and Marvel is going to ride this MCU train, but the possibilities are endless when we start introducing pocket dimensions, alternate realities, and string theory. Anyway, I wasn't expecting this preview to be this trippy, and at one point I thought I did take some type of drug, and for the life of me I couldn't remember. After the multiverse bit, things don't get too crazy, but we are shown more of the other characters, like Wong, who serves as a librarian and guardian of the Mystic Books for the Ancient One, and Strange shares a funny moment with him while being warned not to steal any of the books Wong protects if Strange values his life. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a lot of Mordo. I assume that Marvel was afraid to reveal any information that would lead to him becoming a potential villain in the sequel. And speaking of villains, I learned a lot from Mads Mikkelsen's character, Caecilius. Unlike past villains like Loki, Caecilius explains that he doesn't want to rule the world, but destroy it. Most likely, him and his followers, the Zealots, went too far in their mystic arts and learned how far they can go and found something dark. Dark enough to push them to destroy the earth. Which brings us to the fighting sequences. As I was watching, I felt that the director, Kevin Feige, is a big anime fan, because the whole time I was thinking of Dragon Ball Z meets The Last Airbender, and a touch of Fairy Tail, with those magic glyphs.
Qu'as-tu le cercle magique? Kagura!
Then I realized that most of the fights and magic moments were taking place in public with people walking around, as if Strange and the other sorcerers were in a mirrored reality or dimension to Earth. That's why they're able to go unseen without causing any calamity. And we got to see some action from the Cloak of Levitation, which I thought was pretty cool. There's a moment when the cloak acts on its own to save Strange from falling over the balcony. It was explained by costume designer Alexandra that the cloak is sentient. When I first heard that, I was instantly reminded of the relationship between Aladdin and the flying carpet.
It likes you. Stop.
But nearing the end of all sparring action sequences, we were shown a cameo from the mastermind himself, Stan frickin' Lee. I can honestly say that this might be the third favorite cameo, with the library scene coming in second and Tony Stank making it to the top.
Are you Tony Stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank. You're in the right place.
Now for the top reveals in this 15-minute preview. The Time Gem. Ever since the TV spot from last week showed off some reverse time effect during a fight between Doctor Strange and Caecilius, I honestly thought it was just some clever editing. But then it happened. The Eye of Agamotto activated, glowing green and showing off a gem-like item within the artifact. And time started to reverse, bringing back everything that was destroyed in the confrontation, including those who were hurt or killed. I was aware that the artifact can enhance one's ability in the mystic arts and replay time, but not turn time back. Even though it wasn't made clear if the eye contains an Infinity Stone, but after what happened with Vision, who originally did not need an Infinity Stone to be brought to life, In the comics, it was a jewel that absorbs solar energy. So with the changes, it's safe to assume that the Eye of Agamotto is powered by the Time Gem. It might as well be if it's designed to hold back one of the strongest beings the world has ever faced. Dormammu, the most demonically powerful embodiment of evil in all the realms. Foe to Doctor Strange, and master of the Dark Realms. Yeah, buddy. Kevin Feige has yet to confirm the rumors, but I know what I saw. Even if the main villain is Caecilius, I'm crossing my fingers for epic foreshadowing in the end credits. So pretty much the preview was freaking brilliant. The visuals were geektastic, the depth and scale were out of this world, figuratively and literally. When Kevin Feige said this movie would be nothing you ever seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he was damn freaking right. Yeah, buddy.
Mr. Doctor, it's strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Well, guys, that's the end of the Geekdown. So far, I like what I see from the 15-minute preview. You will be doing yourself a disservice if you don't watch this on IMAX 3D. Other than that, everyone, thank you for checking us out and geeking out. I'm yours truly, Nate Meister. May the fun dreams with you. Always.